The YouTube preview just showed a black screen and I thought I was capturing the wrong thing. A great way to start the stream. I was thinking about starting it with NeoFetch, but I thought maybe that'd be a little too bombastic. But the screenshot teaser of this stream used NeoFetch, so if you've seen that, then you know what distro I'm running. For some reason, according to OBS, my voice is like the audio is lower than it is normally. I don't know why. It's using the right mic, right? Let me see. Yeah, it's definitely using the right mic. If I need to adjust the audio, let me know. That wallpaper is awesome. There's a story behind it. I'll tell you about it in just a moment. Hey Nezzy. Hey Farron. Sanani? Nicholas. Max Programming. Hey everybody. Looking like a pretty healthy turnout this morning. I haven't streamed this this late, this early. I guess it's late for a lot of you, but I haven't streamed this early in quite some time. Daniel, glad to see you. Hello everybody. Yeah, this is a pretty cool wallpaper, huh? Somebody in chat has got to know where this is from. Morning, yeah, it's 7 a.m. here. It just hit midnight. There's people all over the world. 7:54 p.m. So that makes you in India, probably. I mean, I guess it could be like, you know, that whole region, but I'm going to take a guess that you're in India. Cool. Well, here we are. This is KDE Neon. Pretty early here. Man. Yeah, I'd say that the majority of you guys basically when I do live streams are not from the US. I mean, there could be a lot of folks from North America watching, maybe they just don't talk, but the vast majority of people in chat are from Europe and Asia, and I think that's pretty cool. So this is in fact KDE Neon. KDE Neon User Edition. So this is still based on Bionic. The focal version will come out probably next month when they update Plasma. There's going to be a big update that's going to take Plasma from, hey, it doesn't list the Plasma or KDE versions in NeoFetch. It did in KDE OS. You're in Canada, Nezumi. Australia. Oh, cool. Ah, yes, Freedom Planet. That's it. That's it. This is Freedom Planet. This is back here. This is KDE Plasma version 5.18.5. They'll probably update it to Focal on 5.19, which comes out next month. But and I'll do a Distro Delves episode on that on when that comes out. Push-ups are painful. You did them yesterday and you're feeling it. You've been using Mate, so KDE is new territory. Well, cool. This will be a fun video. So my friend Teal just switched to to be honest, Teal, I don't know what you're using right now, but last I checked, you were using KDE Neon. That may have changed, but I want to show people around my KDE setup. And I know people do videos, but I just make a video talking, but I think that I think it's a way better format to do this in a live stream so I can answer your questions and stuff. And because making a video like that would not be very fun. I'd have to record a bunch of footage, make sure I know what I'm talking about, and then upload the video, and then it would inevitably have bad information and people would get mad at me. So let's just do it on stream. So yeah, I'll talk about KDE Neon, the non-distribution, more in detail on the Distro Delves episode. But for this stream, I just want to kind of show you what I've done to my desktop because KDE is a very interesting desktop environment. So this is KDE Neon 5.18 User Edition based on Bionic. There is nothing terribly special about it. It is the KDE non-distribution. They don't like calling it a distribution, and it's not really. It is obviously, but in the like simplest form, it's not. It's just a project. But yeah, so this is Planet Freedom. And the reason why this is relevant, and I guess we'll just do this first, and then we'll start talking about the things I've done. The reason why Planet Freedom is relevant is because... Is it going to do it? Hey, look at that. Is because this guy named Tyson Tan did the artwork for it, and he streams on Twitch, and the VODs are on YouTube, so you can watch him as he uses KDE and Krita to create the sprites and stuff for the game. So the artwork and everything here is inspired heavily by KDE's Conky and the Krita mascot, and he's on DeviantArt, and so am I, by the way. And he does a lot of really, really incredible art, and he was a huge inspiration for me in a lot of ways. And just all this stuff is so, so cool. And he is an active member in the open source community, and that he makes artwork and everything. So all of the conkeys and all of the cool art that, see, there you go, conkeys right here. He made these. This is all his work. You guys have probably never even heard of him. And here he is making stuff for KDE. He's using KDE and Krita. He's making art for games and stuff. It's just really, really cool. And it's almost a little unfortunate that people don't know about like people like this, you know? Like this guy is contributing so much to the community and nobody even knows who he is or anything. So I would recommend checking out his art, checking him out on Twitter. Playing this game. To be honest, I haven't played this game, but I fully plan to. It's kind of like Sonic, if you can't tell, old school Sonic. And yeah, I think it's important to kind of give a shout out to the unsung heroes in the Linux community. People that are too humble to kind of like promote themselves or put themselves out there, and they're doing just like incredible stuff. I mean, look at some of this art. It's just amazing. But anyways, let's not get too far off track. So let's get rid of that. So one problem that I have had with KDE lately is that sometimes my mouse clicks aren't registered, and that can become really frustrating. Like right there, I clicked the X and it like didn't register it. I don't know what that's about. Okay. Oh right, if you recall, he's the guy that makes he's the guy that makes the splash image. He created the character. Yeah, and he uses it on stream and stuff, so just really, really cool stuff. KDE needs to make a game with their characters. Yeah, you would think that there would be a KDE game, but there's not. That might be my mouse. It could be, but I don't have a way to test it, and I don't feel like it happens in games like Overwatch and stuff. I feel like I would notice it if I go to fire and it didn't fire. I'd be like, this isn't good. But I don't know. So yeah, this is KDE. Let's start with the appearance stuff. What do I think about Chromium OS? It's fine. I've never really used it outside of laptops and stuff, so I don't really have much of an opinion. It's cool to see contributions to open source that isn't programming, right? Everybody thinks open source is like developers and programming, and it's not. It's a lot of stuff going on. So one thing that KDE is known for is these crazy themes and all the stuff that you can do to your desktop. I find that it's easy to get lost in those, and I love that you have the ability as an end user to customize your desktop, but I find that road usually leads to anguish, and you wind up breaking your desktop, which I've mentioned in pretty much every Distro Delves episode that includes KDE. I make sure to point out you can break your desktop with this thing, and you totally can. You can make modifications to it and try to revert back to default, but some of the modifications stay, and now your desktop's hosed. That's definitely happened to me, and I'm sure it's happened to you too. So the global theme is just Breeze Dark. I haven't gotten any. There's lots of global themes in here, but I found that most of them are broken because they depend on Kvantum or some other engine. Oh look, my kerning is messed up. I haven't noticed that. I guess I don't go in here very often, so that's interesting. But yeah, a lot of them requires Kvantum or Aurora or just other stuff that if you don't have, your Windows will just be broken. So I don't screw around with this at all. How can you get the window decorations? We'll get there in a minute. Teal raises hand. You've done that? You've wrecked your desktop by changing stuff? Yeah. KDE is too much. It gives you a headache. Yeah, it definitely can be. Hold up. Neon is having kerning issues. Yeah, it's probably because my font. I changed my font. I'll get there in a second. You love that KDE is lighter on RAM? I wonder how we're doing as far as... We are using 4 gigabytes of memory. And that sounds like a lot, but I have 30 gigs in this machine and we're using 4 gigs. And I've got browser open, I've got Steam, I've got Discord, I've got all this stuff open and we're only using 4 gigs. When I was on elementary, and I'll explain why I'm not on elementary anymore, but when I was on elementary, it used at least 8 gigabytes of memory at all times. Even after I closed everything, Slack is closed, Discord's closed, no browsers, something was eating 8 gigabytes of memory at like an aggregate of 8 gigabytes of memory. It's like, where is this? Like, is it a memory leak? Like, where is it going? And I hear people say, oh, well, unused memory is wasted memory. Like, what is being stored in 8 gigabytes of memory? Like, what is in there? Bizarre. Very strange. GB2, how's it going? Instant Curry, you haven't missed, well, you did miss some good stuff, actually. I guess you'll have to watch the VOD. We talked about art stuff. I love art. I like art quite a lot. So as far as plasma style, it's just Breeze Dark. Haven't done anything here. Nothing closes on elementary. It still runs in the background. Yeah. For the application style, it's just Breeze. It's still just the defaults. But for the window decorations, that's where I've diverged a little bit. I have no idea how to pronounce this. Qogre, ogre, Q ogre, Kogre. I'm not sure, but this is what I'm using. I used to use a window decoration called K10, but I don't think it's been updated in a while, and it's basically just trying to copy Windows 10, and that's not really what I'm trying to do. I like the traditional decorations, but I don't want to like straight up rip off, uh, Windows 10. So the Breeze decorations are kind of dated. So one of the things that stands out to me, and I don't know if you guys can see it, I can, is that there is this black, like a dark line right here that it starts kind of at the bottom of the title and then just goes all the way across to these decorations. And I don't know what that is, but I hate it and it shouldn't be there. And I've never really liked these decorations very much anyway, so I get rid of them. What's the font? We'll get there in a second. It's a gradient, but why is it there? Like it adds nothing to this whole situation. So yeah, I use this. Boom, and now it's just flat and you can see clearly where the title bar ends and stuff. That's another thing I don't like about this. You can't really see where the title bar ends. It just, everything fades together. So if I try to grab here, nothing happens. But if I move up a little bit, oh, now I can move it. I don't like that. That's not good UX. That's not good. You can see it better on normal Breeze color as well. Greetings from the Philippines. Hello, hello. It's an issue with the gradient. You can disable it in the Breeze title bar settings. I just won't use it. So I use Qogre. Somebody's probably corrected me, but I also turn the borders off because I believe that this is expecting some sort of styling engine, and if there are borders, you can see it's kind of broken. You see that right at the bottom? The border comes down and then it changes color. I think that there's supposed to be some sort of fancy shadow, but I don't have whatever it needs, and I don't like it, so I'm just going to turn it off. Boom. If you recall, they turned a gradient off by default. I don't know. Doesn't matter to me anymore. I don't use it. Make sure to explain why you're not using elementary. Stay safe, Cabion. Cool. Alt left click and you can move the window. Yeah, but I don't want to do that. I don't keep my hands near my keyboard most of the time. Like, I don't want to like, oh, I can't grab it. Now I have to take my hand over here and then press Alt and then move it. Like, that is cool, don't get me wrong, but I don't want to do that. So title bar buttons. I've made changes here too. I use this all the time. All the time. And you know what this does? So I can hit Control Tab and switch workspaces. Or I can do that, and now this comes with me. Oh, is it actually showing that on OBS? I'm going to use it on OBS right now. See, this is on my other monitor, so I'm going to turn this on. You can't see it now, but now when I switch workspaces, OBS comes with me. It's extraordinarily useful. And also notice that my workspaces are vertical instead of horizontal. On Elementary, they're horizontal, and you navigate through them using the meta key and left and right. But that's really cool if you have an infinite number of workspaces, but I really only have a need for 2 workspaces. So like if I'm working on something, if I've got like building something in the background or something, I can just leave it here and then switch to my other workspace and focus on something else. So I have 2 monitors and then 2 virtual monitors, if that makes sense. It works really well for my workflow. I don't think it works for everybody. It might be a little weird, but it works really well for me. And this ability to pin to a specific workspace and have it come with me is so freaking cool. And then there's all these others. So this is another thing. As far as I know, GNOME doesn't have a feature like this at all. What does? XFCE does. I'm pretty sure. And maybe a couple others. And I think you can like rearrange them on other distros, or other desktops. But I mean, this is awesome. Is KDE Neon relatively new? No, it's pretty old. Why don't I use Elementary anymore? I'll get there. I need to ingrain workspaces into your workflow. I mean, if you don't need them, then you don't need them. Javer, you play on my server? The Minecraft server? Cool. I'm glad to have you on there. People build really cool stuff. We're talking about getting a Terraria server up and going now that the new update has dropped. I might work on that this weekend. Terraria is kind of a pain to. It's not hard to host. It's just hard to automate. Neon's been around for a while. It has. So yeah, I don't like this area being cluttered, and I literally never use maximize. Like I like the way it looks. It's familiar because it reminds me of my Windows days, but I never use this button. If I want to maximize something, I double click the title. So this button is just pointless. So we get rid of that. And now I use minimize. And I minimize windows all the time. That was one thing that drove me, like, you want reasons for why I ditched Elementary. At the end of the day, it was forced because I had Elementary OS installed on a RAID, and the RAID failed. There's your reason. Dunzo. It's gone. It died. I knew that it was failing because when I logged into just other stuff, it would throw errors like in dmessage and stuff. So the writing was kind of on the wall. And I was kind of looking around. I'm like, you know what? I want to switch back to KDE. And I want to switch back to KDE because I don't think that it gets enough attention. And I mean, it shows 55 people watching this right now. So there's 55 viewers that are learning about KDE and how I'm setting stuff up. There are so many different GTK distros and so many different distros based on GNOME that KDE distros, like anything using KDE or Qt, just doesn't get the same level of attention. And I feel like in my position on YouTube and stuff, I can help to change that because I think that diversity in UI toolkits is important. Because as everybody kind of funnels towards GTK, that means that the leadership for that desktop is funneled in a small group of people. And I think that a lot of people can not necessarily agree, but I think a lot of people are aware that GNOME makes a lot of questionable decisions on the desktop and in the toolkit. And as more people use it and less people use alternatives, then the entire community is kind of beholden to GNOME's leadership. And I don't think that that's a good thing at all. So getting more people aware of Qt and KDE and getting more people using alternate desktops, I think generates a sort of competition that I think is really healthy for the community. So that's kind of like a weird, long-winded way of saying, well, another reason why I'm using it. I also just like KDE. It was the first desktop environment I used back in KDE 3.5 and KDE 4. I love the artwork in the community. You know, I'm a very like aesthetic loving person, and I love art, and I love the art in the KDE community, stuff like this and Conky and the color schemes and all that stuff. So it meshes really well for me. So it's not that I don't like Elementary. Elementary is fine. There's just all these little things that were kind of like paper cuts, and once it all finally fell down, I was like, you know what? It's time to go back to KDE and do something new. And that's it. So the RAID failed, which gave me a valid reason to reinstall something, and I chose to reinstall KDE. But going back to Elementary gripes, one thing that I hate about Elementary is that they got rid of the minimize button. And I understand why they did it. I just don't like it. It's as simple as that at the end of the day. Like I'm not going to go on a long-winded tirade about it. It's just I don't like it. The end. The lack of minimize button annoys me. And that's it. Hi Raven, I saw you in chat there just for a second. GNOME also just needs better leadership. I mean, that's a topic for another time and another stream. I could go on and on about GNOME and how I feel, but we're talking about KDE here, so I'm going to try to stay on topic. Is Manjaro recommended for a laptop? I mean, sure. Oh, Moxie, actually, you're saying that Qt is a great toolkit and Origin by EA uses it. Speaking of Origin, a lot of people have been complaining in my Sims 4 video that the steps don't work anymore. And it has something to do with a Qt dependency, because I got Origin running start to finish right out of the box on KDE Neon, but it doesn't work on Elementary OS. Before the RAID crashed, I tried it because I got it working on KDE Neon, and then I went back and tried it on Elementary and it wouldn't work there. So it has to be some sort of Qt dependency. I don't know what it is, but it works out of the box on KDE Neon because everything is Qt. Yeah, so that was pretty cool. You use Manjaro on all your laptops and you love it, Philip? That's good. You use what you like and like what you use. The color scheme is Breeze Dark, and the icon scheme is Breeze as well. Look how nice this looks, though. Something I think is really cool is how they overlay thumbnails on top. Look at that. Like, you can't really see what it is, but I love that. That's really cool. It's like, oh, there's two things. Those aren't even pictures. Like, those are just app images that have, what are these? Like, thumbnails embedded in the metadata. And Dolphin is somehow able to read that and then show you, hey, there's two of these in here. So it's just like nice little attention to detail that I like. Kubuntu distro delves. I mean, at the end of this stream, if you guys stick around for long enough, I'm going to make a video go live. It's going to be like a really meta sort of thing. And it's another Ubuntu flavor. And I've been thinking about just maybe covering Ubuntu flavors because you guys seem to really enjoy them. You know, like I did videos on the smaller distros like Makulu Linux and Q4, and it's like nobody's really interested in it. So I'm glad I did it. The distros are interested to me, but if you guys aren't interested in watching them, then I'll do something else. Ubuntu just has so many flavors. Yeah, it does. So many flavors. It takes me about 2 days to do a distro delves episode, so I could have an entire month of doing Ubuntu flavors if I wanted to. I don't know if it's exclusive to KDE, but you can integrate app images into the menu. I don't know if that's exclusive, but that is a really cool feature. And I use it. I've got 2 versions of Kdenlive installed because of that app image. So this one is the main Kdenlive, and then this one is my app image that I use. How cool is that? Just really cool stuff. KDE is so underrated. It's got a lot of problems. Like when people say, why is KDE buggy? Why does it crash and stuff? Those are valid questions because it is buggy and it does crash. But that doesn't make it a crappy, well, I mean, I guess maybe it does make it a crappy desktop. But if you're willing to endure some of the issues it has, it's such a good distro. distro. It's a good desktop. You get extreme screen flickering when you go to KDE. That's probably. Do you have I can't remember, Raven. Do you have NVIDIA? That's an NVIDIA thing. I'll show you how I have my compositor set up too, to maybe help alleviate that. So these are my fonts. You guys asked about my fonts. I'm using a font called Multi. It's a free and open source font, and it's on Google Font Foundry. And my fixed width font is Mono, but that is not the font that's used in. I think it's used here. I might be using Hack. No, I'm using Hack in the terminal. But like for VS Code, I believe for VS Code, I'm using that Mono. Hey, here's the project I've been working on. You guys like Snapcraft? That's what I've been doing lately. Look at this thing. This isn't all my work. This is me and this guy James been working on this. He's done most of this actually, but yeah. Here's a segue into some Snapcraft stuff. Good stuff. But anyways, I think this actually doesn't look like Overpass Mono. Maybe I have my fonts all screwed up. No, it's Hack. I don't know where this is being used then. Fixed width is Overpass Mono. It's probably used somewhere. VS Code versus Atom, it depends on what you want to do. I like VS Code. Some people like Vim. James uses Vim, and that's all he uses. Oh boy, I have a lot to catch up on here. Greetings from Greece. You love Neon? Excellent. Hope everything is good in Greece. You don't get the fluidity in KDE like you get in GNOME. Yeah, the animations are pretty cool. Is this based on Bionic or Focal? This is Bionic. Focal will come out next month. VS Code. Let's share the live stream, guys. It deserves more views. We're almost up to 70 viewers. I think this is the most I've ever had. GNOME's new login screen is awful. Oh, we don't need that anymore. Okay, the icons. What the hell did I do? I didn't do anything. The icons are Breeze Dark. What title bar am I using? QOgre. What's your thoughts on the KDE Settings app? This is old. This has been around for a few years and it needs a facelift. It is very cluttered. It's not as bad as GNOME's setting app, which they redesigned recently, and it's worse in my opinion. But it's not good. I just like the traditional, like Elementary OS and XFCE, and even like Mate. Those are ideal. It's basically this, but each icon is a different setting. What's wrong with that? What is so wrong with just having a very simple settings thing? There's too much happening here. Like if you have to use a search to find something, you've gone down the wrong path. It needs to be simple and straightforward for a user to find stuff. You shouldn't have to rely on search, in my opinion. You can still use icons on Plasma? How? Oh. Well, hot damn. Thank you, Reed. That was very helpful. How do we feel about this? Is this good? This is exactly what I was talking about. This is what I had in mind. You can change it to icons only. Yet another thing that is cool about KDE. I didn't like that other settings style, so let me just change it. Bam, now we have icons. Done. It looks awful. I mean, the icons could probably be a little bit bigger, but I'm okay with it. Reminds me of Windows 7. It's still not ideal. It does need a facelift, but I like it way better than the list style. I don't like this. No. I mean, I guess for this video, it's actually kind of useful because I know where I am going down the list. So I'm going to stick with this, but when we're done, I'm going to switch it to the icon style. My cursor is that QOgre cursor. I think it's a lot better than... I think that the Breeze cursors have they're old, and I think that it's a little diluted now because so many different desktops use it. Hey Kai, welcome, welcome. Just look at the appearance section. Oh yeah, it's really confusing. It's out of control. I hope that they don't take functionality away. I like being able to change my theme. I like being able to choose my style. But the way that they have it set up is a little confusing. Desktop behavior. I have single click enabled. I like that. One thing I noticed about Elementary that really annoyed me bad is that single click is enabled by default, but only Elementary apps and certain apps respect it. So like if you open up, if anybody in chat is on Elementary and you have single click enabled, open up the archive manager. It doesn't do single click. You have to double click stuff. Same with like GIMP or Glimpse or anything that is Flatpak. It doesn't respect the single click. So you wind up clicking once and it's like, oh, I have to double click here. That's annoying. That doesn't happen on KDE for some reason. I don't know why, but pretty much every app that I've used is single click, whether it's GTK or Qt. I don't know how Qt does it, assuming it's Qt. I guess it could be like a KDE thing. But inconsistent clicking behavior is annoying, and that doesn't happen on KDE. So we've got desktop effects. Teal showed me this today, or last night. Oh, is it not going to work? No, yeah! Look at this. Just like that. It's a K-Win effect. You can just zoom things in. It's probably more useful for big, like really large resolutions, but I thought that was a pretty cool feature. I don't think I've made any changes here. Single click is the scourge. You kind of have to get used to it. I got used to it on Elementary, and then now I just stick with it. Screen edges, I have those turned off because they're really annoying, and I find that I trigger the screen edges accidentally way more often than deliberately. So I have all those turned off. Wait, that is Meta Plus. What did Meta Plus do for you? Teal? Hey, Alan. How's it going? Zoom, just like Compiz from 10 years ago. Oh, you want Compiz effects. I turned on wobbly windows on the What distro was that? That wasn't KOS, it was something else. Oh, it was the top 5 video. You want Compiz? You got it. I really enjoy this one too. Boom! You know, it's the little things. I'm going to leave those on too. Let's see how long I can stand it. I mean, it handles it pretty well. Like, you'd think it would tear and do all sorts of stupid shit, but it's doing fine. Manjaro KDE is pretty cool. You love that animation? You can make the windows more wobbly. Here we go. Oh my god. It adds a lot of weight to it. Like, it feels heavy when I drag it. Oh, it's like jelly. Oh my god. I'm gonna end up crashing Kwin, and I don't want that while I'm streaming. It's like a car, and I can feel it like shaking, and I've got to like chill out and let it calm down. I don't want to crash it. Can I get on the server right now or 45 minutes? I don't even have Minecraft installed. I guess I could though. Oh my god. This blows up too? This might be too much. I don't have a touchscreen, so Kwin is robust, but it doesn't always like NVIDIA stuff. So I'm like really careful with it. It's like a big glass vase, and I'm like, I gotta carefully move it. I don't want it to tip over on me. What's my app launcher? We'll get there in a second. I have to switch monitors to show that. Screen locking, I have that turned off. Virtual desktops, I think that they're arranged horizontally by default, and I have mine vertically so that I can do this. I have hotkeys set up so that Control Tab switches desktops and they wrap around, which is this button here. And if I do Meta Tab, it will take the active window with me. So if I wanted to like move this to a different desktop, I'm like, get out of here, and now it's gone. So, Raven, you tweeted that this was going on. That was very nice of you. Thank you, thank you. Cool. Does anybody here use activities? I have no idea what these are used for. I think that they introduced them in KDE 4 as early as KDE 4. I have never used these, and I don't know what they're used for. Like, is it like a meta virtual desktop? I don't know. You hate the default taskbar because it doesn't group. Yeah, the default, like the app launcher, you mean? Or the taskbar? Like this over here? Oh, that's the sys tray, which I haven't even gotten to. Good Lord, I'm not making very good time, am I? We're just like slowly going through all of this. Shortcuts. I don't want to go through. The main ones are basically just Control Tab and Meta Tab. That's it. I haven't really done anything here. I have InSync, but it kind of goes bananas on startup and just devours CPU, so I pretty much only turn it on when I need it. InSync is a way to sync your cloud services. I use Google Drive, and I wouldn't mind migrating to Nextcloud, but I just don't have the time to do it. Can you show your system monitor? Like, would it show GPU stats? I can. It might be a little distracting to have it just chilling in the background, though. You mean this? So I have GPU memory, the GPU usage, CPU usage, and then I/O stuff. Yeah, my GPU's not really doing much of anything. OBS is using the GPU's memory, though. I guess it would have to capture the frame buffer, and it puts it all in because it's NVENC. I don't really know why it would, like, you'd think it would just pass through. I'm not sure. Do you have Baloo? Where can you get the thermal tab? You have to make it. I did this on stream, I think. If you go to File, New Tab, and then say Stream Demo. And then, so this is weird. If you've never done this before, you won't have any idea what to do here. It says drop sensors here. Well, where are the sensors? If you're wondering where those sensors are, go to the right side and drag over. I shit you not, that's where it is. Not the best design in the world, but it is functional, and there are a lot of sensors to choose from. You can even have log files print here, like kernel. Well, that was underwhelming. But still, you can have log files print here. Maybe the syslog? Okay. Maybe it's broken. I don't know. Oh, there we go. Yeah. Yeah, the K-sysguard is awesome. Oh, Alan, if you're still here, I can show you that thing that I tweeted. And this is a cool thing to show anyway. Okay, that effect's got to go. So check this out. Alan was saying he wanted to have some sort of preview of what something would look like if you wanted to change like the color scheme and stuff. So with the terminal, you can do that. So as I hover over, look at that. See all these different colors just by hovering. And it's like, oh, you know what? I don't like any of these. I don't want to screw stuff up. I'm just going to close it now. I'm back to where I was. So I think just Breeze is the default. And that's what I'm using. There's also new themes that you can get. Look at this. Like the KDE rabbit hole just keeps going and going. Like we could be here for hours just going over all the stuff. The green on black is great. Right here. You like that? Wow, the green is kind of hard on my eyes. Yeah, I don't know. I like this. Yeah, that's the default, I'm pretty sure. And I believe it does that with, yeah, yeah, you can change up your fonts while we're sitting here. Oh, there you go. How's that? Does that look good? KDE is so overwhelming for beginners. Yes. Yes, it is definitely overwhelming. Without question. Look at this. Just wild. It's so cool. And now we're just back to where we were before we started tinkering. What, you just need a QBasic theme? Okay, that theme that's got to go. It's too much. Okay, I have some of these turned off. Browser integration installation reminder. Why this is a service, I don't know. But this is basically reminds you when you open a browser and it doesn't have Plasma integration. Like what? I don't use Thunderbolt and I don't have a touchpad, so those services are turned off. I don't know what that does. It just makes me feel better about myself if I turn these useless services off. KDE starts with a session like that. Restore previous session. I have that turned off because that is annoying. It doesn't even do a very good job of that. Like this shouldn't be a default. It's weird. Like when I was doing the KOS episode, I would restart between doing various things, but I would close everything and then restart, and then it would boot up into the session that I had just closed. So like all these windows that I had closed were back. It's like it's weird. I don't like this. It doesn't work right. I don't think I've changed anything here. Now let me turn off the window explosions. That's too much. Oh, it's under the candy section. KDE Connect is great. I don't use that. I have used it, but I don't use it for anything. If I wanted to do something on my phone, I would just use Bluetooth. So, I don't know. I'm not the target user for that. It's fine, but I just don't have any use for it. Oh, I forgot to change my user thing. Whoops. I don't know where my icons are. I don't want to go like rummaging through my desktop to find it. But I've got some Snap users. So something else that was really annoying about Elementary is I've been doing a lot of Snapcraft development. So that's what the Snap daemon user is. It's like an unprivileged user inside of a Snap container basically, but it's like its own user account because it needs to have its own ID and stuff. And on Elementary, it will the login screen will just go through each user, even though they're not like real users without home directories or anything, and it would show them as users that you could log into. So my login screen was really cluttered with like a KVM user, Snap daemon user. It was really obnoxious. And you might be wondering, well, why didn't you submit a bug for that? And my answer is because I'm lazy. Do you work at Canonical? No, I do not. But everything Canonical does is open source, so it's one thing you don't like about Snap. What is KDE based on? KDE is based on Ubuntu LTS, but it's not built in a way where you need to worry about what it's based on. It's just like a project or collection of apps that just so happens to resemble a distribution. The Elementary team probably wouldn't have fixed it anyway. I mean, they have priorities, and that probably wouldn't be very high on the list. Didn't do that. What's with the KDE wallet? I don't know. I've never really had good experiences with it, but it's enabled and it works fine on KDE Neon. I don't know. I'm not. It's a. I mean, it's a password manager. I know that, but I don't know what it does outside of that. It just seems to work. I don't know. I don't know. My network, input devices. I have numlock turned on by default, so I use that all the time. I think that's pretty much it, though. Oh, I have my pointer speed down because I can control my DPI with my mouse. So It recognizes my mouse as a game controller for some reason. If you wanted to know what mouse I use, this is it. I highly, highly recommend it, especially if you do any sort of competitive first-person shooting. Being able to adjust your mouse on the fly and have really good precision is a must-have. And this mouse fits my hand. I don't have very big hands, and this fits my hand perfectly. Most mice are too big. This one is just right. What's the benefit of using KDE Neon compared to Manjaro? It's just preference. What do you think of Unity Desktop on Ubuntu 16.4? I actually liked Unity a lot. I like Unity a lot. Garth, you use KDE's wallet on XFCE? It's kind of interesting. Cool. I'm glad it's cool that it's portable, that you can do that, you know? That is cool. What's your take on the Qt LTS licensing stuff? I don't like it, but you know, I think that Qt is playing with fire by dicking around with their licensing. That's not smart. Qt has been known for its permissive licensing for a long time, and if they start screwing around with that, I think it'd be. I don't think it would be like. I don't think it would crash the company or anything, but I think it would be really bad. How did you learn so much Linux stuff? By using it, making lots of mistakes, losing lots of data. I think that pretty much everybody in chat has experienced data loss or some sort of crashing just by learning Linux. That's just like we're a big community of people that share similar experiences with accidentally running the wrong commands or something and just hosing it all. But you know, for some people, you might screw your desktop up or screw your file system up and be like, "Wow, screw this! I'm going back to Windows." But for all of us, you and me, we're like, "That's okay. I want to figure out what the hell happened so I can prevent it from happening again." And that's what makes us in the Linux community special, because we're willing to put up with this stuff. You know, Windows has a lot of guardrails to keep you from screwing yourself over. Linux does not, and that's what makes it special. I've had two really severe data loss incidences on Linux because of Linux, because I made a mistake and I lost a bunch of data. And yet here I am still using Linux despite myself. I know better now, but back then it was like, oh my God, I think I just lost all of my pictures. Yep, you did. Whoops, lesson learned. Okay, so I got two monitors, two of the same monitor, nothing special here. Compositor settings, I want to show you guys this because KWin traditionally has not played. What does this button do? Deletes the bootloader? Yeah. There was a Debian article about don't break Debian. It's just a warning. There's nothing stopping you from breaking it. You can run that thing into the ground. There's nothing going to stop you from doing it. Oh boy. So KWin has traditionally not played super well with NVIDIA. Did I say that backwards? KWin and NVIDIA have not had a good relationship. There you go. And with the latest version of KDE frameworks, I find that it's the issues that I had in the past with KWin crashing are over. I have not had a KWin crash in a very long time. This is how I have my compositor set up. I did a little research. Some of the information was outdated, but this works for me. Scale method is crisp, just because I don't have a reason for it. Full screen repaint's messed up NVIDIA. The rendering backend is OpenGL 3.1. I read that OpenGL 3.1 has extensions, OpenGL-like functions and extensions that allow it to do things faster than OpenGL 2. So the warnings about OpenGL 3.1, like, oh, you don't use it unless you know what you're doing, those are very old, and they are mostly pointed at AMD and Mesa before they got their OpenGL implementation up to standard. So if you ever read anything about not using OpenGL 3.1 with KWin, look at the date. It's probably very old. This isn't an issue anymore. 3.1 probably should be the default because like every GPU and driver supports it now, and it's faster than 2.0 all around. Unless somebody wants to correct me, that's what I have read and that's what I have found. And I have VSync turned off, and I have keep window thumbnails turned off. I also have this disabled because I found that this can screw up my taskbar. From what I've read, that's an NVIDIA issue, and there's a fix in the works for it. But like if I'm playing a game and I have this turned off, once I quit the game, it won't fix the taskbar and my taskbar will be all screwed up. I don't find that this really has a big effect on games anyways. So I have kind of a strong GPU, so maybe if you've got weaker hardware, it might be a bigger deal. And I've got night color on all the time. I have it set to 3500. I have it disabled right now because I'm streaming, but I don't know if this will show up in the stream, but yeah, it's pretty strong. But I'm looking at my monitor all the time, so it's important to take some weight and strain off your eyes. I think that's probably it. There's my headset. Unless there's anything. Ooh. Oh. I'm not using that microphone though. This is a mixer, but my Shure SM57 is plugged into it. I don't want to screw with it. I'm just going to leave these settings alone. Everything's working. I don't want to mess with it. Got my printer. And then we're back to system information. Woo! That was just the system settings. We haven't even talked about the system tray, guys. There's still more to cover. Man, this is wild. I wasn't expecting this to go for so long. Last night I was designing and forgot to turn the nightlight off. Oh no! That sucks. Oh, I can't imagine. Yes, we'll get to the app launcher in just a second, Instant Curry. That RAM though. Yeah, I got sick of, swapping all the time. I do a lot of crazy stuff on this, especially with the Snapcraft development and rebuilding snaps all the time. I need a powerhouse. I overclocked this thing too. This is running at, where does it say that actually? Does NeoFetch say what the frequency is? It does. Yeah, this is overclocked. This normally runs at 3.9 and I have it running at 4.4. It's not even breaking a sweat. Very, very good CPU. It's old, and you pretty much can't get it anymore because you'd have to really downgrade your hardware. But I don't want to upgrade, so I'm using this old crusty but trusty CPU, and I love it. 16 gigs is enough, yeah. Yeah, 16 gigs is definitely enough. Yeah, I'm just doing crazy stuff, and that's why I need it. Okay, so let's talk about I guess we could talk about the entire taskbar. Because my launcher here doesn't have a like log out, log in. I guess you wouldn't log in from here, but like exit the desktop. There's no functions here. I have this down here. Uh-oh. That wasn't smart. Well, actually it seems fine. Anyway, yeah, so I have that down here for when I need to turn stuff off. I've got my clock set with the date. I've got my system tray. I was helping Teal with his last night. You wouldn't expect the system tray to be so complicated, but it kind of is. By default, it wants to show tons of entries, and it becomes really obnoxious. So I've got stuff set to disabled and stuff set to show when relevant. So like media player is set when relevant, but there's no media playing, so it's not here. Same with the microphone. The microphone only shows up when I'm recording something. Same with updates. The applet only shows up when there's an update. Pretty standard stuff. Steam is there. I've got notifications always shown so that I can control it. It's easy to disable. Do not disturb until 10:52. I have it on a timer. So sometimes if you use do not disturb on notifications, you can sometimes turn it off and forget to turn it back on. That happened to me all the time. KDE allows you, I'm not going to open it because I don't know what notifications are waiting in there. And I have people may be messaging me on Discord and I don't know. I have tried Latte Doc Garth and I didn't like it very much. I found it to be really heavy, and when you need to customize it, it like shows this big overlay and it's just weird. I wasn't a huge fan of it. It's fine. I know people that use it and they like it. It's just not for me. Is this an official KDE wallpaper? No. It's made by, this wallpaper is created by, this guy, Tyson Tan. At the very beginning of the stream, I talked about Tyson, and he has created all of the art. He's created art for KDE and KDE projects. So like Conky, he created all the Conkies right here. He created the Krita mascot, and he also is doing art for Freedom Planet, and that's what these characters are from. So yeah, really, really awesome work he does, and I'm glad to talk about him on stream with all of you. What about Plank? Plank is fine, but it's GTK, so I try not to mix Qt and GTK because weird things happen. Weird things can happen. Why don't I like XFCE? I never said I didn't. XFCE is fine. I just don't use it. Just because I don't use something doesn't mean I don't like it. I'm just not using it. So yeah, volume. Let's see. I've got display configuration disabled. I've got my network hidden because I'm hardlined in. There's no reason to show it. It just clutters things up. I've got touchpad disabled. Device notification is hidden. Bluetooth is hidden. Hidden means that you just have to pop this open to access it. It's there. It's just it doesn't show up. And then I apparently have vaults, but I don't think I've ever used it. And then night color control. I thought I had that enabled all the time so I can easily toggle it on and off, but I guess I don't. And then clipboard. Teal was asking about the clipboard, and I have mine set to hidden because I literally never use it. So what are vaults? I'm not, to be honest with you, Philip, I don't know. I'm not sure what the KDE vault is. I'm sure it deals with encryption because it's, a vault, but I'm not actually sure what it is. Have I tried Cavantum? Yeah, but I don't want to add a bunch of stuff to my desktop like Cavantum. Like I don't need it. I don't have a use for it, so I don't want to install it and clutter things. So yeah, that's this panel, and then damn GNOME fix ArtCore, they did fix notification or app indicators by removing them. That's how they fixed them. Pretty cool fix, huh? Just you know what? This is too hard to support. Let's just get rid of it. Just remove support for that. Oh, okay. That is one way of fixing a problem, just removing support for it. That, people might disagree with it, but fact of the matter is that is one way of fixing a problem. Just get rid of it. You can tell how I feel about that. Seems very lazy to me, but that's okay. So let's try to switch to my other monitor, and I'll show you what's happening over here. Okay, can you see my other monitor? Yes, you can. So KDE allows you to select different wallpapers based on your monitor. A lot of them do that, but I say that specifically because Elementary does not. You choose one wallpaper to rule them all. So if you have 5 monitors, you have the same wallpaper on all monitors, and maybe that's okay. I don't like that. I like having different wallpapers, and this wallpaper is the wallpaper on this monitor is important because this is my second monitor, and I like a dark wallpaper over here. So this is a dark one. It has a lot of darks. It has greens. It's got a dog in the middle of it, which is cool, but it's not bright and it doesn't blow me out. So it's important to me to have a dark wallpaper on this monitor. So that's what's going on there. So on the bottom right, I've got my clock again, and I've also got these little monitors. This is system load. It's really, really cool. Where do I shop for wallpapers? Reddit. If you check out one of the DistroDelves episodes, I always get if you check out one of the DistroDelves Encore episodes, the live streams, we always go to Reddit and pick a wallpaper there, and that's where I get my wallpapers. Except for like the Planet Freedom, or Freedom Planet or whatever, I got that one from DeviantArt, which is another really great place to find stuff. Watch Wolfgang's video on GNOME 3 and you'll understand why they removed app indicators. I mean, sure. So instead of encrypting the hard drive, you encrypt folders. Yeah, definitely. They're going to remove the shell too. All right, so this basically just opens KSysGuard, but it shows my CPU use, like system load aggregate, and the memory usage, which is really cool if I'm playing a game or I'm doing something here. I can just look over to this other monitor and get a very quick peek at what's going on. So this is another thing I want to point out, because with elementary, you choose a primary monitor, and that monitor is where all of your applications pop up, whether you want them there or not. With KDE, this is actually my primary monitor, but I have all of my applications pop up on my secondary. So it's a lot easier for me to like play a full screen game or something like that on my other monitor, and then just look over here on my primary and see how my system's doing. I also see my clock. So on elementary, this entire monitor was just a wallpaper, and that's it. So if I was in a game or something, I couldn't see the time, I couldn't see my system resources or anything, and that was really annoying. You're going to play a game now? Excellent. We're going to play a game here pretty soon too. So these temperatures are my GPU and CPU temperatures. This smaller number is my CPU temperature, and the 50 degrees, they're both in Celsius, and the 50 degrees is my GPU. Have I ever tried to get K-Sysguard to use GPU usage? I haven't, actually. I mean, I have, but I haven't been successful with it. I can't find it in there. Can you configure Discover to not check for updates? You can tell the applet not to, I think. My elementary decided that the browser will open on the second virtual desktop. Wow, that would piss me off. I would be belligerent. What you like most in KDE is Discover. I actually like Discover. You don't like this mouse cursor? It's basically Breeze without the tail on it. And Garth, you think that KDE is the easiest for multiple monitors? Yeah, I'd think that I agree with that. KDE FX series temps isn't right. Well, I haven't had any problems with it, so I don't know. psensor gives you your yeah, I use psensor sometimes. I think I actually have it installed. I do. So this dashboard thing is what is it? What is it called? Launchpad Plasma. That's it. It's honestly kind of a piece of crap, but it's really fast and it's really simple and it doesn't get in the way. For a newbie, KDE or XFCE? XFCE by far, without question. XFCE is simpler and it's really hard to crash it. KDE, if you make the wrong change, you could completely hose up your desktop. So for newbies, I would say stay away from KDE. Once you kind of like get your bearings and figure out what you're doing and how to do stuff on Linux, then you can knock yourself out with KDE. But I would not tell a new user to use KDE at all. It's dangerous. When was the last time you used Windows? It depends. Like the StreamTop runs Windows because that's what the Elgato will work with. But I haven't used Windows as a desktop in 4 years, I think. And that was at my work. That was in an old place I worked, and we had to because that was our laptops. I haven't ran Windows on my desktop in 8 years, I think, something like that. 7 or 8 years. Yeah. So let's hop back over to this monitor. So now that we've got all the KDE stuff out of the way, I'm going to look at the chat. FX CPU getting 18 degrees. I have a very heavy duty water cooler attached to it. It's awesome. Really good stuff. Very, very good setup. Can you use the Epic Store somehow on Linux? Yes, you can. Maybe, yeah, Zach, it's water cooling. It's a very heavy duty industrial class water cooler. It's awesome. Okay, so now we're going to play this game called Wildwoods. I don't know where I found it. I think that somebody may have emailed me, months ago about it, and I got around to actually playing it recently, and it's one of the funnest games that I think that I have ever played. It's a lot of fun. If you were playing Windows games, what would you do? I don't know. EG says he doesn't keep his hands near the keyboard. Yeah. Yeah, my keyboard is actually kind of. I have two keyboards actually. I've got a like a keypad for gaming, which is basically WASD and some other keys, and then I've got my actual keyboard, which is portable. It's pretty small, and it's usually like up and away. So my workflow is largely mouse driven. So it's to maximize the space I have on my desk, basically. But I've gotten used to it. Oh boy. You found that cinnamon on mint is stable. Yeah, cinnamon is real good. Cinnamon depends on system D. I don't know, but maybe it does. Nicholas, I imagine a huge gallon of water. I don't know. There's got to be a lot of water in that thing. It's huge. I'll have to take a picture of it and post it on a community post so you can see how big this water cooler is. It's like you could it's almost the size of like a small motorcycle water cooler. It's huge. And the way that I have the airflow, it's just like super optimized. It's awesome. Really, really good stuff. Steam is available on Linux. Yeah, there's nothing about Windows that I need. Like there's games that I just can't play. I don't care. Whatever. I can play all the games and do all the things I like on Linux, so I have no need for Windows. You could use 60% mechanical keyboards. What do you mean? I don't know what that means. Okay, so this is Wildwoods, and it's kind of like I'm not going to try to explain it actually. It's a really cool game, and it's on itch, and the developers have a Discord. Really, really cool game. It's written in Unity, and it's in alpha or beta, maybe. No, it's in alpha, but it's really polished, and it's a lot of fun, and that's what we're going to play. So the developers, I believe, run Windows, but they build it for Mac and Linux, and it runs on Linux. So sometimes it has some issues. I've had it have some issues before, but we're going to play it and hope that it doesn't have any issues. So I'm going to plug in my Xbox controller. 60% mechanical keyboards are... Oh, it's 60% size? Ooh. Interesting. I'll have to look into that. That sounds cool. Is Wildwoods free or paid? I think that it's recommended €5, but it's like the Elementary App Center where it's itch basically. Name your price. Yeah, so €5 and then or you could just say no thanks and take me to the download and play it. But we're gonna play it so you can see what it's like. Really, really fun game. And here we go. You can't believe that you're awake to catch a stream instead of watching it later? Well, hello, Zach. Oh no, we have like 3 Zachs in chat now. So let me pull up OBS and make sure that the audio is coming through. Yeah, it looks good. Yeah. All right. Zach, you're late. That's okay. We already went through all the KDE stuff, so now we're just going to play this game. I'll turn on the tutorial so you guys can see it, and I'm going to try it on hard mode. Does this game run on Linux? Yeah, it's just a binary. So it's really well suited for multiplayer. It's only local multiplayer right now. They're probably going to implement... well, I don't want to speak for the developers. It would be silly not to implement actual multiplayer and even get this on a console. Like this game is so freaking cool. Oh, Nezzy, you know this game? Are you Nezzy, are you the person that told me about this game? Instant curry, you're gonna go to sleep. Cool. It's good to have you here. Is it running okay? If it starts tearing or acting stupid, let me know. So like I said, it reminds me of a reverse tower defense where you're just kind of escorting a cart and you have to maintain it. But yeah, this is a really good game. Oh boy, I gotta... Keeping up with chat while playing this game is not going to be easy. You posted it in Discord. Okay, so it was you that told me about this. This is a phenomenal game. Really, really happy with it. I joined their Discord, and it's written in Unity, but the developers are aware of like Godot and other game engines and stuff. I mean, at the end of the day, when you just want to make a game and you're not that interested in the technology, it doesn't really matter. Like, as long as, like, if you already know Unity, whoa, there's way more guys on hard mode, holy smokes. This is like the first wave. Oh man, this is gonna get really difficult. Can it be played with mouse and keyboard? No. This is gamepad only right now. I don't even think the mouse works. Like, I don't think the mouse does anything. Ah. So, I mean, you can imagine how much fun this game would be with multiple people. Wow. KDE Plasma uses, yeah, I think pretty much all. You had to step away. Yeah, this is built for multiplayer. This is like designed with multiplayer in mind. What is this? Yeah, I do need that. So, might as well harvest. You would totally play this. It is so fun, Teal. This game is fantastic. I cannot recommend it enough. And for the price of €5 or basically whatever you want to play, it is a steal. They also have a Twitter, and they post updates and stuff there. Like, from what I understand, the way that the grass moves like this is a relatively new thing. Just cool, like the attention to detail is awesome. Oh, that used all my gold to get that pot? Well, damn. It's kind of a bummer. You need gold to unlock a lot of stuff. It's not just like this the entire time. There's like little villages and stuff you find. You gotta go. You enjoyed the stream. Good. Thank you. I'm glad that you stuck around. It's good to have you. Do they have? Is it on Steam? It is not on Steam. It is alpha right now. This is on itch specifically, so it's not even like what is that thing? Early access? I could see this being early access. There's probably a lot of stuff that the developers want to do, or maybe they don't want to go on Steam. I'm not really sure what the story with it is, but it's not currently on Steam. It's on itch. Wow. Alright, dude, I may have made a mistake by going on hard mode. This is a little much. Wow. I'm not dead though. I don't even think I've taken any damage. So we can go left or we can go right. I don't really have any money, so we'll just go north. Look at the camera move though. It says it has its own client. Thanks for sticking around, Nicholas. It's good to have you. Yeah, I usually only stream for an hour, but we spent so much time going through KDE that I really wanted to stream this game. But yeah, thanks for everybody that's sticking around. We still have like 70 people watching, so. Oh, that hurt bad. Uh-oh. I think that these, not the badgers, but the like little rabbit things are new. Oh, that sucked. He hit my thing. Ah! Where are you guys going? It's kind of a violent game. Not really. Just kind of cartoons, you know? It's wild that this isn't a, like a PlayStation game or something, you know? Really, really cool. Oops. Oh, well, that's gone. There's usually gold in here, like, you know, just one, but still. There we go. So here's like a shop. You can get upgrades. Your streams seem so interesting that you have to keep looking away from your work. Sorry and thank you. This game is awesome. You've got to get a copy. Yeah, it's a great one. Do you need dedicated graphics? I'm not sure. This is Unity. So, KDE is for enthusiasts. Yes, I would agree with that 100%, Joseph. Hello from Algeria, North Africa. Hello, hello. Hamza? I hear you can use Kwin in Deepin as it runs on Qt. Yeah, that's cool. I have to give that a try. When Deepin makes its way to distro delves, maybe we can try that on stream. Increases fire duration. It costs 5 wood, but it can break trees. That's cool. We'll just do that though. Oh, I have a lot of money. Hey. Sure. Oh, I can't. Oh, I don't have enough wood. Is Manjaro the best KDE distro? I mean, sure. The best distro is really up to you. There's no like, this has been rated the best distro. Like, if anybody says that, they're dumb. There is no best anything. Like, sometimes I see that in video titles, like, oh man, I just used this and it's the best. Like, yeah, you said that about the last distro you tested too. I don't watch a lot of Linux YouTubers because that stuff just annoys me. Like, they're trying to act like influencers and it just comes across as really disingenuous. Like, oh man, I just used, you know, Manjaro, it's the best. And then next week, I just used Deepin, it's the best. And then the week after that, oh, I just used Fedora, it's the best. Like, dude, shut up. Like, it's just ridiculous that people do that. That's my opinion, though. That's why distro delves is so different than what other people do. I've made a terrible mistake here. I don't have any wood. I can't see anything. Oh! Oh, I'm gonna die. Oh, I died! I haven't died on this game and I just died. Bunny Beater killed 42 bunnies. A lot of people say that. What I use is the best. My stream is break for my workflow, or for my workbook on Bash. Manjaro KDE uses Qt 5.4. I only trust this channel in terms of Linux. Well, thank you. Thank you, thank you. I try to focus on honesty, and let me tell you guys, I get a lot of shit for being honest. Like, if you look at the top 5 desktop distros or stuff, or whatever, like, scroll down the comments, and I'm getting so much shit from people saying, oh, you know, where's Manjaro? I'm mad Manjaro isn't. Oh, where's MX? I'm mad MX is. It's like, dude, this is my opinion, and I'm being honest. I'm not gonna lie to you guys and say that something is awesome when it's not. When are you gonna play Minecraft? I mean, I don't know. If you guys want to play Minecraft on our server, it's just minecraft.eg.io. Is it in the Snap Store? I don't know. I think there's a Minecraft launcher up there. Yeah, right here. Yeah, so I mean, I could get set up on Minecraft, but I've been streaming for a while. I got some other stuff I need to take care of, but I might play Minecraft later today. So, well, I wanted to end the stream. Oh, that's what it is. We're gonna do something really meta with you guys. This is how we're gonna end the stream. All right, ladies and gentlemen. We're going to end the stream here by setting this video to public. And there you go. Now there's a new DistroDelves episode waiting for you. I could have done like a premiere thing and we could watch it together. But yeah.
I remember Ike one time saying
Hey,
that the road to Budgie 11 will be paved with dead budgies.
Shut up, EG. Nobody wants to hear you. People just want to watch you stream. 60 people watching. 100% likes. Thank you for that. I appreciate all of you. But it is time for me to leave. If you want to watch the new DistroDelves episode, I highly recommend it. I know the guy that made it. And yeah, I think we're going to leave it here. Thank you for sticking around, folks. This has been a great stream. The most people on stream that I've had by far. And it's been a lot of fun. And we will definitely do this again in the future. Everybody take care and stay safe.